Hello everyone, and welcome to a new series, Factorio. Now, at the end of this video, I'll post up a picture, screenshot of the settings that I'm using. It's easier to do it that way. But basically, we started on this map. I went through a few of them to decide which one I liked. I went through maybe about 20-30 maps. Now, granted, there's no desert here. I always like starting in the desert because you don't have many trees. It's nice bright yellow, but you can't change terrain segmentation anymore. So you're basically limited to what they give you, which I kind of like having terrain segmentation. You can turn it down really low and you get pretty much all a desert biome. But anyway, you don't have that anymore. So as you can see, this is our starting area. There's no oil here, very little copper. So that means we will be messing with trains. I don't know how soon, but probably one of the first things I start getting up and running to go and find some more copper. I haven't explored anything but the main starting area, as you see here, and I just want to jump into it. So as you can see, we got a little bit of stone here, a little bit of copper, a couple coal patches, and then more small stone up here. Now, granted, one small stone patch or medium-sized patch, maybe even this one, is probably all you need for the whole game, because as soon as electric furnaces start, you jump to electric furnaces, and then you're not using much stone, other than for pathways, of course, and walls and things like that. Which, if you use pathways or to make concrete, or even just stone like cobblestone walkways or whatever it's called, you use a lot for that. But anyway, that's in a little bit from now. So anyway, the main plan, I'm just gonna do that real quick while you can see the map, is start out down in this area, just a small smelting area, and then likely transition into this big iron patch, and then run them, and you can follow my mouse, run them up this way, and then my main bus area will be along the top, so you can access it from the bottom, access from the top. As far as oil in that, depends on what kind of area the oil will come in at, will determine whether I put it here, down here, or train it in, or just run massive pipes to it, or multiple pipes, or whatever. So anyway, let's jump into it. Now, again, there's no kind of wrong way to do this, and sometimes there's not really a right way. It just depends on kind of how you want to play it. And I like playing mine, I don't know, kind of semi-casual, not a speed, no speed runs or anything, of course. But so you just want to start out, cutting down some trees. And you may say, why are you doing trees? Because there's coal right there. Well, I want to get these trees out of here anyway, and it'll be a good thing just to start, so I can put my miner in here and to give it some. Oh, I didn't quite get all of that. That's one thing, is when you're in here trying to cut trees. Where is the tree at? There it is. Okay, now we're good. So we'll just put half in here, and we'll dump half in here, and dump in that. And then you hit the Alt key will toggle what's in things on or off. Now, of course, your miners like this won't show anything that's in it, because it's just mining things out of it. But things like furnaces, your chests, your assembly machines, and those types of things will show you. You have Alt on or off. Same thing when you start having pollution. As you can see in the mini map, there is pollution. If you hit Alt, it goes away. It's a good idea to leave it on. I like leaving it on, because then you can see where the pollution is going. But anyway, so while that starts doing its thing, I'm going to mine a bunch of coal here, so I have it ready for the next thing. Because as soon as I get a bunch of iron going, I'm going to do about maybe 10 coal here. As soon as you get the iron going, then you can start making more miner drills. Now, when you first start out, you may use a bunch of burner miner drills, and unfortunately, they can't go into anything else. So let's see, is this stone closer, or is this stone closer? Actually, I think the stone over here might actually be closer, because you don't have to. Now you can see the mini map here. You can see it on the main map. This stone versus this one, because you don't have to traverse through the trees. Now, early on, stone is used for stone furnaces. That's pretty much all it's used for now. So I'll mine out So you need 5 stone to make a stone furnace, and then you need some stone and some iron to make a miner drill, of course. So I'm going to mine out, I think I'll do 15, that way we can get some miner drills going. Actually 20, we can get some miner drills going on the coal, and then we can get another one going to help us smelt iron, because it's crazy how much iron you use, especially in the early game. Granted, you do use it throughout the game a lot. Probably one of your top resource, because you use iron to make steel, and you use it to make electronic circuits and to make, pretty much everything else. So the way you can grab things out of these, you hold down Shift or hold down Control, and right click takes out half, and left click takes out all of it. And since I have some here, I can go ahead and make 4 miner drills. And of course, they have to make your iron gear wheels. Iron gear wheels are something that, excuse me, I used to actually, before I was really getting into playing this. Actually, I don't want to make that many. Yeah, okay, good. There we go. I don't want to do quite that amount. So this goes into here. That. And where are we at? Do 2 more. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, about the iron. How much? Oh, the iron gear wheels. Now, the thing is with these type of miners, setting it up like this, all you need to do is put 1 in here, because what will happen is this will mine it out, and as soon as it mines it, it'll put it in here, and these will keep feeding each other up until each one has 50 in it. And of course, once they have 50, well then you need to take it out, because they'll just stop working. An easy way, I may do it. Sometimes I do it with conveyor belts, and actually have them putting them on conveyor belts with burner miner inserters, and to kind of make a continual loop. And actually, it's kind of hard to explain how to do it. I just instead of running the miners into each other so they never get full, I'll actually run them on the conveyor belt, which they'll drop into a chest, but they'll still pull off of the belt for what they need. Make another one of those, and I can make 1 more of each, just to really get this iron going. Like early on, so you can see in the top right up there about having research. This early in the game, I don't really, I don't really mess with research too much. Where are we at here? So we do that, and then again, when you're putting things in, if you hold down Control and you right click, you'll put in half a stack. If you hit Control left click, you'll put in the whole stack. And that's good for like distributing, because this one has 7 and this one has 15. I started with this one, of course. And this one we actually have wood. So we're going to take the wood out, and we're going to put that in there. And we're going to actually, that one's fine. The wood, that one's good, and we'll go back to that. So basically, early on like this is kind of the game. You don't need copper very much at this point yet, because you're not making research, and that's kind of the first thing that you need to do, because you can make transport belts just with plain iron plate. And actually, what I want to do is I want to get this one like that, and I want to get a box made, dump that fully, all that into that. So this way now I don't have to mine stone. Now, granted, I do want 5 pieces. I actually want 10 pieces. So I'll mine a bunch, and then I'll grab what's in the box. There, we have 10. Because I want to make 2 more of these, and then these will run into each other with the coal. Because early on, even when you move to steel furnaces, some people don't even mess with steel furnaces. They'll just wait and just go right to electric furnaces. I don't do that, because your steel furnaces produce so much better than your. It's not on here. These have a crafting speed of 1, I think, for steel, or 1.25, and then the electrics, I think, are the steel and electrics, or I think maybe they might even be 2. I think they have the same crafting speed. We have that in there. So what I'm going to start doing Actually, I want to start making, actually, what we can do is we can start working on our electric systems. I need a lot of stone right now. As you see, it's getting dark. Oh yeah, if you were questioning, this is not, there's no mod. This is not a mod. It's a type of a server, or excuse me, a server map. Now, as you saw there, I just did look at copper lines, because you do need that for your power post. So what I want to do is I want to make 5 burners, and we'll make 3 boilers, which is quite overkill for what? We'll need a bunch of that, and then we'll need a chest. It's quite overkill for what we're having, but the thing is, your steam engines will only run, do I have enough to make furnace and box, and I have so I want to start getting some copper, because you need copper to make electric mining drills, and you need copper for these trees. I wonder if there's a way to go through this. Later, yeah, you can kind of make through. Later on in the game, when you start getting grenades, or, well, robots, of course, but grenades more so, they're very good at, I'm just going to drop a full stack into that if I want. Actually, I'm not going to do it like that. I'm going to do it like, okay, I need to get, oh, there we go. Oh. So the funny thing is, I was like, oh, I'm out of stone already, but I just picked up a bunch of stone. So I'm just going to pick this up, like that, and then we're going to dump some of that into there, and that. We actually have to smelt this now. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to hang out here for a little bit. What I can actually start doing is, see, what can I make? I got that, I got some conveyor belts. I do need a bunch of these, so I'm going to have 5, so I'll need 6 of those, which are burner miner drills, or burner inserters, excuse me. So the burner inserters, they work off of coal. So even with a power outage, especially early on, if you get kind of screwed up and you have power outage or what have you, these inserters here, your regular inserters, as well as the blue, the purple, the stacked inserters, they own the electricity. So if you have a failure, say you run out of coal, they will stop running. However, if you have the burner inserters, as long as there's coal in the system, they will continue to feed themselves and feed whatever they're putting the coal into, regardless. They'll continue to feed each other, regardless, like with the power. Now, granted, if you have coal in the system, you'll be having coal going into your electric. So it's a bit of a, I'm not sure what the word would be to say that, contradicting type of thing. Because if you have coal going into your boilers, or into your boilers, you're going to have power going. So yeah, anyway, I think you understand what I'm getting at. So I need more wood. Oddly enough, and the water that you see down at the bottom right, that's where I'm going to start pulling the electric from, or because you need to have water, obviously, to make the steam, which makes this from boilers, which then goes into your steam engines, etc., etc., etc. I'm just going to get a couple trees here. Now again, I'm going to take a bunch of these. These pipes I don't really need to mess with yet. What I can actually start doing is start running this. And yeah, I'm going to cut right across the copper because I want to get down to this water as easily as possible. Which I don't know how easy it will be. Let's see the trees. Let's see, I can go in there. So with power poles, as long as you're near, like if you have one here, like you click on the last one you went to, and you just walk with it, it'll put it at its max distance. Which is actually a very, hope I didn't mess up. Oh shoot, okay, I did mess up a little bit. I don't have enough, excuse me, I don't have enough copper. Oh well, so we'll take a walk back. It's not that big a deal. It's just, I was planning on not having to do that. I guess I spent it all. I'm short electronic circuit, so I'm short like two copper plates. But that's okay. No one's perfect. However, we have our power lines in, so now I don't have to mess with that at all. I just can keep it going, and then just just go like that. So now we can at least come over here, and we should have. There we go. Now we have tons of copper, and so I'm actually gonna put one of those. I'm actually gonna make a lab, and I'm gonna make that. And going the first thing I always do is either go toggle between automation or logistics. Logistics gives you undergrounds, splitters, and fast inserters. Granted, you don't need fast inserters this early for anything until you start making electronic circuits and things like that, which you can make straight away. You don't need any research for that. But I always like doing this because then you can start automating everything, and that you see that takes 10 science packs, and I'm creating 10 science packs, which has to make all the gears, and it has to. So handcrafting is almost unavoidable early game, but it's not the best way to. It's not the best way to do it. Now she's gonna make. I'm gonna hold on to that copper. So again, this is just gonna be a very temporary system. I'm just gonna run all these off of that, and as soon as I have the ability to either expand this or change it, you could believe that I'm going to change it. So I'm actually gonna run this along like that, and then we put our burners in like this, and I put one here, dump that there, and then I'm actually gonna put in 2 stacks of this because I really don't want to run out. See, as you see here, as I was explaining, these don't need power. As long as there's coal that they can dump from or take from, they'll dump it onto the belt, and this will load it up. I think it loads it up to 5. Let's just watch it. So that's 5, and then so it'll load up to 5. Now, granted, I could take this and take this like this and just go like that, which will do the same thing, and it has a bunch in it. It doesn't really matter. So once this starts heating up, actually we're not producing any power yet because there's no power draw. If you hover over one of these, it says satisfaction is 0, production is 0, accumulators, that comes way later. So you don't need power. I guess what I'm saying is your coal won't be used. Excuse me, your coal won't be used if you're not burning power, if you're not using power. So you can load it up, and it's not like it's going to be wasted, because sometimes you would think, well, if you put the coal in there, it's just going to burn it regardless if I have anything to burn with it or not. I'm just going to dump those in there, very temporary. So what we're going to actually start doing is, see, these need some coal. I'm going to jump over here. Some of these, as you can see now, see how I was saying how these were stopped? Because they're now filled with coal, and now I have 200 coal, which is really good. So I'm just going to dump half everything into these. I want to get more than half, of course, because I can see that there now. And so we're good. So now we're going to be pumping out that. The copper is fine for now. I don't need to. Well, actually, you know what? Let's take a walk down there, because I want to really start getting. I got to take a walk up to my stone first, but I want to start getting inserters. So now the way you craft things, left clicking is just 1, right clicking selects 5, and if you hold down shift and left click, it'll craft as many as it can with the inventory that you have. If that makes sense. If you have it'll craft what inventory that you have. So as you see, I picked up a bunch of copper now. I can make 35 inserters, electric inserters, if I really want to, which I don't need that amount. However, I am going to make 4 of those, I think. So I want to try to replace the burner miners as soon as possible, because they do. If you look at our little map here, now granted I haven't explored anywhere here, so I have no idea if there are biters. However, biters will not spawn in your starting area. Oh, we're granted there, so we're going to go to. I always like doing logistics first, because then you can get that. But I mean, you can jump into any one of these at first, but I'll just do that. Granted, you won't have any biters spawning inside your starting area. They won't spawn in there. That's why in your options, you can select small, medium, huge starting area, and that means the area that you have that's at this point a free zone. Now, if you have biters up here where my mouse is, they will eventually migrate down into here, but it's just your starting area is free of them which is a bit of a safety thing, which is nice that the game does that, really, because they wouldn't have to. As you can see, we just picked up a ton of stone, which is great, because as soon as I get down here, I'm going to make, see what I need to make, transport belts, I need that and that, so I need 1, 2, so I need 3 of these. Actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to run my power lines, kind of have this in a stupid spot, so I'm going to move that, I don't need it there, I'm going to create a few more of these. I'm actually going to move this up here a little bit closer to where we're actually going to be mining from. And so, what am I, oh yeah, so my mine, that's what I want to set up. I can set these up. I can actually do this kind of right here. So what I want to do is make one of these at making stone furnaces. So all we need to do there is make, I actually have a couple of this, so I just need to make a couple boxes. So I'm going to have this in a box, and I'm just going to put in all of this stone, and it's just going to craft. And I think it will hold 50 in this, so, which is fine. Now, granted, if you have a fast inserter, this would load a lot faster. But for the time being, this is fine. Like it's not gonna. Actually, it can only hold. Can it only hold 2? I thought it could hold. I thought it used to be able to hold a lot more than that. Oh, I guess I'm wrong. Okay. Anyway, it can hold 2, so good thing I actually checked that. And so while we're here, let's just set up. I want to set up for the what do I call it? For the belts. So you need iron gear wheels, and you need to have iron gear wheels dumping into this. So you can make it like this, just trying to save a bit of space here. You can do that, and then you have this, which will feed into that. That, and that'll dump into there, and this will dump into there, and this will dump into, I just have to make a couple steel boxes into there. Basically, you can take all this, and you're going to put one that. So this basically will feed into this, and then this will feed into this. So, because the transport belts need, however, they need one iron gear wheel and they need one iron plate. So basically, the plates are being pulled here, these are being pulled here. Now, granted, once I upgrade to making, fast inserters, as I said before, this would be a good way to use it. Please see, these are going to pump through here, and I'll just limit this to just to that. I don't have that much iron. Same thing with this. I'll limit this to 100. But as you can see, there's tons already that are made. And again, even in the early game, you got to really stay on top of collecting things because it really burns through. And I bet you I even filled out that copper already. So what we're going to do is, as I said, with the smelting area, is I want my main bus to be run up here, above this stone. Actually, you know, we could actually probably run it here, which I might do. But anyway, we're just going to stop there as we are out of time. But feel free to leave some comments, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.